Oof. Shalom, shalom, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahshai, Ba'asham, Achak, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the sincere camp out there pushing this gospel in all righteousness and all sincerity. Alright? This is the 5th of November 2021, the year of hastening unto the coming of the day, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahshai. So, we're out here once again, week in, week out, the Hebrew Israelites. You already know what we do. But anyway, what I want to do is to preach and to speak concerning the gospel of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. Yahweh being the true name of the Heavenly Father, the creator of heaven and earth, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, the God which the Bible speaks of. And Yahweh Shai is only begotten Son, which the world ignorantly and willfully calls Jesus Christ, and the Rachat Padash is the Holy Spirit. So I have a few notes here that I need to go through. But basically, it's actually concerning the Kemet thing that happened recently. I really wanted to address that because Senator going, that was last week, Senator going to the Dallas camp. Okay, I didn't actually want to say anything concerning that because I didn't really, I'm not really too deep into this whole Egyptology, whole depth Kemet thing that this Senator guy is usually going into. I don't usually watch his videos. I don't watch them at all, right? Because that's not really what I am concerned with. There's no point in watching those videos, man. But anyway, what I wanted to say is that our boasting is in Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. Okay, we can actually boast. I know the funny thing is that these Kemet people, they always go about worshiping the Egyptian gods, but the most Yahweh Bashim Yahshai has already disgraced and embarrassed those Egyptian gods. Man. Even the scriptures talk about that. During the time of Moses, and the Most High said that I will confound the gods of Egypt. I forgot how it goes. But basically, the Most High has already shown that those Egyptian gods, okay, they have no power, that they are, good for nothing. All right. So let me see if I can find that precept. Okay, so this is the only one I can find. Exodus chapter 12, verse 12, and it reads, "For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the powers of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am Yahweh." So the Most High has already judged and already confounded and destroyed those gods in Egypt. And these people, these Egyptologists, these Kemet, they are still worshipping those gods that are already been shown to be no gods. Okay, I'm not really going to go into that because that's not what this is about right now. Okay, that's whole that thing has already been done and dusted. All right, the elders, the brothers, they already asked the questions, and the Egyptologists came out with no answers. So what I am going to go into now is something else. So basically, what I'm going to go into is what the most time, man. The how about Bashim Yahshai, the God that we are talking about. Okay, not the God of Egyptology. Okay, not the gods of Kemet, but the gods Yahweh, whose names the Most High and His Son, whose names are Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh. Like I said in the beginning of this video. All right. So now I'm going to go into that. Another the powers that we worship as the Hebrew Israelites, and this is just to. So let me get this piece of. Let me start off with this. Isaiah 45 verse 21. Isaiah 45 verse 20. Yeah, Isaiah 45 verse 21. I'll start from verse 20. Isaiah 45 verse 20. "Assemble yourselves and come, draw near together, ye that are escaped of the nations. They have no knowledge that set up the wood of their graven image, and pray unto a power that cannot save." Why couldn't the gods of Egypt, okay, why couldn't Ra, why couldn't Kek, why couldn't, whatever other Osiris, Isis, why couldn't they save the Egyptians from the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai when the plagues were going on when the firstborns of all the cattle, all the everything that was alive in Egypt died, why couldn't those idols save them? Why is it that what did I want to say again? Why is it why is it that they allowed the Most High to do that to them? Okay, why couldn't those gods wake up and why couldn't those gods defend those people in Kemet, alright, or in Egypt, Mizraim, Matazariam during that time? So this is verse 21 now. Tell ye and bring them near, yea, let them take counsel together. Who hath declared this from ancient time? Who hath told it from that time? Have I not, Yahweh, and there is no power else beside me, a just power and a savior? There is none else, okay, there is none beside me. And that's right, alright? Which other God, which other holy book, which other doctrine and our philosophy can you say that has so successfully predicted, so successfully prophesied about all the things that would happen on the earth? Which other book, which other doctrine teaches about everything that goes on the earth, about the nations, okay, about prophecy, okay? Why is it that nobody is talking about the MOTV that's coming up? Or let's not even go into that. Let's go into something simple right now. World War III. It's to the point where everybody is talking about it. The unrest between China and between China and Japan, Korea, Thailand. All these different Asian nations. And the funny thing is that China is talking about hosting the Olympics, and now the Olympics, the Olympics, and now Japan is uneasy about it. Now, and this is just showing you that all these nations are confederate together, even though they are pretending, that this whole thing is being staged, being set up. Even World War III is being staged, and it's all being set up because at the end of the day, and this even happened during World War II as well. All right, at the end of the day, when the Olympics come up, or the World Cup, or something, or a global event, all the nations will gather together in the enemy's land, in whatever land that is taking place in, and participate in those sports. The world leaders will come together in the UN for the UN General Meeting, showing you that this is all set up, man. All these nations are confederate together, and the only people that aren't part of that confederacy are you Israelites. But you still want to be out here talking about Kemet, talking about all the nation of Islam, talking about these different philosophies that aren't even going to help you in any way, shape or form, okay? What good are all these philosophies and all these doctrines going to do for you when they can't even give you guidance, alright? So let me read this again. Isaiah 45 verse 21, and it reads, Tell ye and bring them near, yea, let them take counsel together. Who hath declared this from ancient time? So, what philosophy, what doctrine can you Israelites, okay, can you Jakes follow? Can you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians follow that can give you that instruction, that can tell you about things that could happen in the past, that tell you about things that happen that will happen in the future, a long time, from the beginning. Because because the scriptures that we're always going into, the Bible is an old book. What was it compiled? Sorry, I've forgotten the exact date. I always talk about it. The King James version, when the King James version was compiled, I've forgotten the exact date. I think it should be in this Bible. Hold on, let me check it. I think it should be in this Bible. I think it was 1614 or something like that. Let me just make sure I'm not getting anything messed up. Nah, it's not here. I think it was 1648. So okay, I can't remember. I can't remember the exact date that the King James was compiled. I think I should still have it here. I can't remember the exact date that the King James was compiled, but most of the things that are written in this book happened, over now it's over 2,000 years ago. Alright, it happened 2,000 years ago. Most of the things that are written in this book, they were written down 2,000 years ago. But the thing about things that are that haven't even happened yet, things that are happening right now, and things that are still going to happen. Alright, which other doctrine, which other philosophy, which other book can you even say can do that? So now let me get the next precept. And this is the main one right here. Alright, this is why we believe what we believe. This is why the Hebrew Israelites are out there on the highways and byways, in the four corners of the earth, everywhere on the planet, preaching this gospel. Because of this right here. So this is the book of Isaiah 46 verse 8, and it reads, "Remember this and shew yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. Remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High, and there is none else. I am the Most High, and there is none else like me. Declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure." Alright, so now, once again, the Most High is speaking about it again. He will bring up, let me just get that. Now it's going to he will bring up things from the past, okay? Things that he spoke about in the past that will happen at this time. I would, that's what basically what we're doing. We're going into prophecy. All the things that the prophets of old, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel, all the things that they talked about. This is the book of Isaiah that I'm reading from. All the things that they spoke about in the past that are coming, that are happening right now, okay? Showing you, where prophecy is at. Alright? Can any of these people in Kemet explain who Babylon the Great is in this? No, they don't even use the scriptures. Can any of them explain why, let's not even go too deep, like why we went into slavery or anything like that. But can they explain, if Egypt is so great, can any of them even explain why they fell? Or who are the Egyptians today? Of course, they'll say it themselves. Then why is it that in the land of Kemet right now is filled with Ishmaelites? Can they even explain that? Can they go into the history and explain why the land of Egypt right now, there are Kemets with the pyramids and the roads and all that are filled with Ishmaelites? Because you go into Egypt right now, the top religion is what they call it, Islam. All right. But can these Kemets even go into that? Why is it that why they get? Can they even explain why they're not in Egypt anymore? Can they explain what they're doing in America? All right. Can they can't even talk about they can't even go into what is going on in the present day. See, whenever these Egyptians come around, they start arguing, or they start speaking about whatever they're speaking about. It's always the Hebrew Israelites that end up coming up. That's why Sanetta, he's always going, he's visiting the camps, talking about the Hebrew Israelites. Constantly interviewing I've forgotten his name, Captain Tazaria, because the truth of the matter is that he actually wants to see, he actually wants to interview one of the other apostles. He's trying to find a way to get to the apostles so he can actually interview them. But there is no what it is, man. We don't do interviews in GMS, okay? The apostles aren't going to go and be interviewed by anybody, because whatever you want to ask them, they've already done a video about it. It's on the YouTube. So what's the point of being interviewed? So now, that's basically I'm not even really going into what I want to talk about. So the whole Kemet thing it's a funny situation. That's why I'm even actually addressing it. But the real thing I wanted to speak about is our power, Yahweh Ba'asham Yawasha. That is where our boasting is, and that is where our pride is in the Most High, man. Let me get this. So this is the book of Isaiah 45 verse 5. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. There is no power beside me. I gathered thee, though thou hast not known me. And this is speaking about the Israelites, because you go one verse up. Isaiah 45 verse 4. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. And that is who these priests are talking about. That's who this word is for. The elect, Bachayar, the saints are the Israelites, okay? So now continuing on. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. There is no power beside me. I gathered thee, though thou hast not known me. That they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am Yahweh and there is none else. Alright, that's basically it. I form, okay, verse 7 now. I form the lights and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. Drop down, ye heavens from above, and let the skies pour down righteousness. Let the earth open, and let them bring forth salvation. And let righteousness spring up together. I, Yahweh, have created it. Alright? Can these Wakitaki Christians, can they go around Jesus Christ? Can they even say that he created that? Can they say that he creates evil? Can they say that he creates, can they even say that he creates, like that he controls the thoughts and the intents of the hearts of men? Alright, because according to them, we all have free will, right? But these Wakitaki Christians, they can't even what I wanted to say. But you get the point basically, alright? This is the power that we worship, this is the most that we worship. He created light, created darkness, created peace and evil, okay? He forms the thoughts that we have as men, and he orders our steps, alright? That's going into, I believe that is Job the 33rd chapter, okay? He's the one that is in control of all these things. He's in control of everything that goes on the earth. If you go into your plantation Christianity, the plantation Christian doctrine, in their doctrine, the Most High is in control of everything that happens on the earth, okay? Because the Most High didn't choose to, because the serpent was going by his own will, alright? He saw him was going by his own will, when he tempted Adam and Eve. He didn't want that to happen, so I can say too much, but anyway, he didn't want that to happen. His thoughts, he didn't want that to happen. Okay, his thoughts was that Adam and Eve will stay in the garden forever, and all their children will be in the garden. That's not what the scriptures say, though. That's not what the scriptures say, because if you go into the scriptures say what? Who gave Jacob to this boy? Let me get that. And the reason I'm bringing this out is because it goes into everything, right? It goes into slavery. It goes into the fall of man. Okay, because now Isaiah 42 verse 24. Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not Yahweh he against whom we have sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. So why did our people go into slavery? Why did Adam, why did man fall? Because it was up part of the Most High's plan, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. First and foremost, because he disobeyed the Most High, we went into slavery. But Adam, his fall, in the Garden of Eden was also planned by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. The Most High was the one that set it up to be that way. Okay? So let me get this as well, because here it is. So this is the book of Proverbs 20. Proverbs 20 verse 24. Man's goings are of Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own way? Okay? And that's basically that the Most High is the one that is in control of all our actions. So then, so let me also, I also want to get these precepts, alright? Let me bring it out. Let me bring it out. Let me see. How does it go again? Here it is. Romans 8 verse 20. Romans 8 verse 20. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who has subjected the same in hope. Alright? So the reason why we are put in this state that we are in, the reason why the Most High caused Adam to fall, alright? He sent the serpent into the garden. It's the wicked, he saw it to tempt him and make him to fall. Was so that we could have that hope, we could learn that wickedness, okay? We need to understand wickedness in order to be a true 100% righteous judge. Okay, the most because the how about Yashai, the most already understands the wickedness. Okay, he's the one that created it. Okay, so there's no need for him to question. So there's no question about it. You know, if you ask who created homosexuality, who created Esau-Edom to be the wicked, who created all, who created sin, it was Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because from the law came forth sin. Everybody, that's basic, that basic precept right there. From the law came forth sin. Okay, sin is the transgression of the law. Where there is no law, there is no sin. So as soon as the law was, and the Most High was the one that created the law, and he created sin as well, because what that's that balance right there, right? The balance that we always talk about in the scriptures, that the Most High is a God of balance. Okay, the good and the evil, the left and the right hand, right? And both sides work together. Both sides work together. The spiritual demon Satan is not out of control. He is in the control of our power. The power of our once again, that's the most side that our boasting is in. That's what we're coming out here to do every day. The highways and byways and speaking. We're here to speak the works of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, to make known to everybody what the Most High is capable of. And it's not like these impotent gods that all our people worship. All our people are always worshiping. And this is the one true power. The Most High himself. What scripture say? Are the gods of the heathen and idols. But Yahweh Hashem Yahushai created the heavens and the earth. And that is who we praise. That's who we give all praises, glory, and honor unto. That's who we fear. Alright, because of this ability, this power that he has. So now I want to get another precept. Let me see if I can remember where it was. Wait, hold on. Turn up the phone again. Alright, so let me bring it out. Okay. That's how to be everything. Wait, I have to take me out to get this precept. Let me look for it because it's out there. Right here it is. Isaiah 45 verse 11. Isaiah 45 verse 11. Thus saith Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel and his Maker. Ask me of things to come concerning my sons, and concerning the works of my hands, command ye me. I have made the earth and created man upon it. I, even my hands, have stretched out the heavens, and all their hosts have I commanded. And that's the precept right there. And this is another thing I want to get into. These damn atheists, man. I think that they can talk shit about Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and get away with it, okay? Because I was just going back. Because I was going back through. I was meditating and remember these atheists. Man. I'm not really going to them because we don't really deal with them too much. But when I was coming up in this truth, man, when I was starting out, I used to see and talk with a lot of these atheists online, because a lot of them are always on these on YouTube and the like. They come and put their little comments about there not being a Most High and trusting in science and all that. But then you ask them a simple question and they can't even answer it. Alright, things like this, like the scriptures talk about. Who created the heaven? Who stretched out the heavens? Who made man? Who gave man breath? why is it that why is, when you ask them simple questions concerning the Most High, who gave man breath? How is it possible that a human being is made to be alive? How does a baby get formed in the womb? And they can't answer these questions. They just give up their basic, the excuses that they get, what Esau science tells them. But then, but then that's not an explanation, all right? When you say they give the scientific explanation, that's still not a full explanation, because according to you, there is no Yahweh does not exist. There is no God. The fool says in his heart that there is no God. That's a precept right there. Let me bring it out. Psalms 53 verse 1. Psalms 53 verse 1. The fool have said in his heart, there is no God. Corrupt are they, and have done abominable iniquity. There is none that doeth good. Alright, so the fool said in his heart that there is no God. That right there explains what these atheists are, man. But anyway, that's not what I was trying to say, man. Because now, if you start getting on these people, the funny thing is that all these people were actually Christians, and the Egyptologists, the scoffers, the mockers, they always get on us. But when you really start getting on them, when you start asking them questions, you start drilling them, they never respond. They can't even say anything. They can't bring up a statement or they can't say anything to defend themselves. That's when that's when it becomes, that's when things become too difficult for them. But say defend your statement, defend your arguments now. Alright, we ask you this question, you can't say anything about it. You're twiddling your tongue, you're doing stammering on it. You can't bring out, you can't even make a coherent statement, or can't even make a full sentence to defend yourself. Alright? But it will be easy for them to come out and say, oh, that doesn't mean this, that doesn't mean that. Then what does it mean? Okay? When we go into the scriptures, we bring out a breakdown, and these Christians, these people out here, these scoffers, let's just call them that, because that's all they are, scoffers. They come out here and they say, oh, this doesn't mean this, that doesn't mean that. They are going off, they are breaking it down wrong. When you ask them, what does it now actually mean? And they can't say anything about it. They can't say anything about it. When you ask Vocab to break down Revelation 13 verse 10, I still remember that video, man. Vocab couldn't say, Vocab didn't even, Vocab, he couldn't even actually say anything about it. Even going into slavery in the scriptures, Vocab had to accept that, alright, slavery is in the scriptures. Oh, but it doesn't mean this. Oh, but it doesn't mean that's not what that slavery means. It's not part of God's. It's not part of God's ultimate plan for His people. It's not slavery. Where is that in the scriptures? Okay, where is it in the scriptures that the Most High did not plan for it to happen? Because from where I stand and from what I'm reading, I'm seeing slavery all over the scriptures. The Most High talking about that, putting people in captivity, leading people into captivity. Even the Israelites, they will be led into captivity by the Babylonians, by the Persians, by the Greeks, by the Romans, and even to this day, led into captivity in ships. Alright? And then eventually, lead into captivity those that led them into captivity. So I'm here, and when you talk about captivity, that's slavery, right? That's slavery. I mean a lot of talk from the Most High about people being led into slavery, and people leading others into slavery. So how can you say that it's not part of the Most High's plan if the Most High ordained it to be so, prophesied it with his own mouth, said, thus saith the Lord, right? Thus saith the Lord, written in all caps. So let me go into a few of them let me just go into a few of them. Alright, let me start with Revelation 13 verse 10. Okay, Revelation 13 verse 9. Revelation 13 verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. Hear what? The words of Yahweh Hashem. This is the Most High speaking now. He's telling you, that if you have the capacity to listen, if you can receive it, then listen to this. Revelation 13 verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the saint and the faith of the saints. Now was the elect, and this is what we are patiently waiting for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to do this miracle, okay? To turn again, as Victor said, and that's another thing I said, that he will turn again the captivity of our people. So let me get that as well. Alright, this is right here. So this is the book of Amos chapter 1 verse 9, and it reads, Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remembered not the brotherly covenant. But I will send a fire on the wall of Tyrus, which shall devour the palaces thereof. So okay, Amos 1 verse 11, that's what I meant to read. That's what I meant to read. So okay, Amos 1 verse 11. Alright, Amos 1 verse 11. Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. But I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the palaces of Bozrah. Alright, and part of that, the fire, but the judgment is captivity, it's slavery, okay? Anyway, let me go into alright, what I was talking about, yeah, slavery, going into slavery, right? It's all about the scripture, written in the scriptures. You can go into different precepts that speak about it, and in the Most High that ordained it, okay? That Esau, Edom, and all these other nations are going to go into slavery under the Israelites, okay? Hold on, short here. Like that. It just rain, it just even rain itself. And that's why, you know, I'm in Qatar right now. But anyway, let me keep on going into it. Alright. What was I even talking about again? What was I even talking about again? You know what? That one has passed, so I can't even remember it anymore. So I'm just going to something else. Alright. Oh yeah. I was talking about the captivity. Alright, so I don't really have much to say concerning this matter, you know. Everything I need to say has already been said. Alright. But you know, I'm trying to get into this topic, but because I always keep on going back to all these coffers and mockers and what they always say. But this is what we believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And we believe in the words that the Most High has spoken. and we know that he will make it good, okay? Because so let me get some precepts going into that. You know, the Most High will make His word good. So let me get that. Because the Most High, let me just bring it out. So this is the book of Numbers 23, verse 19. The Most High is not a man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Hath he said, and shall he not do it? Or hath he spoken, and shall he not make it good? Now, so let me get this one as well. Isaiah 55, verse 11. Let me get this one as well. Isaiah 55, verse 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Alright, so whatever the Most High says, okay, He will do it. He will keep His word. And which what is written up in His word, okay? The Old Testament is not passed away, because you ask this same why don't you ask the same Christians about, and I'm doing it again. But anyway, you ask the same Christians about Isaiah the 63rd chapter. They will tell you that it's a future prophecy. So how is the Old Testament passed away if there are still future prophecies in the Old Testament? Why doesn't Vocal break down Isaiah the 63rd chapter and explain why the Most High is talking about getting his vengeance on Esau, Edom, even though they are done away with? Alright. Or why don't we go into you know what? I want to actually go into that right now. You know, I want to speak on that a little bit. Revelation the 17th chapter, where it talks about Babylon the Great. Why is it that these Christians can't tell you who that Babylon the Great is? Alright. The horror of Babylon. Why can't they speak on it? Why can't they speak of that? You know, so like I'm looking around, man. Something is really swirling around here. You know, something is really swirling around here, man. But anyway, let's just go into it. Let's just go into it anyway. As I was saying, why can't they break down? And that's what I want to do right now. So let me go into that. I want to break down, you know, the whole. I want to break down America being Babylon the Great. All right. This is going to be a good. This is going to be yeah. Let me just go into it. Revelation 17 verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of our fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. So this woman was sitting on a beast, okay, the red beast, 7 heads. I had 7 heads and 10 horns, and had names of blasphemy on it. And if you go into the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, you understand the breakdown for who or what that beast actually is, okay? It is a kingdom, and the iron teeth, you know, the kingdom that is diverse from all the other beasts. So you already know about that. Now let me continue on from verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Alright, and that's basically what I wanted to read out of there. So who is this woman that the scriptures is talking about? You know, if you ask the Christians don't actually even know. But this woman is not actually a woman, but it is a city, alright? The city of Babylon in this day. So let me get this precept as well. So okay, hold on, let me bring this out. because that princess is not actually a woman, but it is a city. Okay, I already said that. So this is the book of Jeremiah 51, verse 7. Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of our wine. Therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly falling and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. Okay? So that I want to get it. That's what I want to go into. Babylon the Great. The mother of harlots that have drunk, that all nations have drunken of the wine of our fornication. They have made all the nations drunk with her wine, and that wine is the doctrine, the philosophies, okay? Because now you go into all these countries, the schools, they teach what they teach. They teach the science according to Babylon the Great, according to what is being, according to the standard of the curriculum of Babylon the Great, your education system. I think how does it go? That's 9 areas of activity. This guy, Neely Fuller, he coined that up. I've forgotten all of them, but religion, school, sex, politics, all of these things are being controlled by Babylon the Great. They're the ones that set up the policy, that show people how these things are done, how that teach that all the nations are following and copying from and adopting their practices. Alright? And it's all being headed up by that beast, that scarlet colored beast, which is NATO and the EU, which is being run by the international bankers, okay, your Rothschilds, your international banking families. Let's just point out them together. The Rothschilds, the secret council of the wicked, the elites of the wicked. Okay, so I can continue going into Babylon the Great because that's what we're going to be doing right now. Continue going into it because there's so much more I could get. Alright. But now this is a city, it's not a woman, it is a city. And we've already established that with this Jeremiah 51 verse 7. Let me get that. Jeremiah 51 verse 7. Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand. So now is Babylon a city or a woman or a golden cup? These are all parables, proverbs, okay? That's what the scripture says. That to understand, let me get that. That's in Proverbs. That is in Proverbs. Okay, I got a little excited. That is in Proverbs, the first chapter. To understand a parable, okay, a deep dark saying. Let me get that. So this is the book of Proverbs 1. Alright. So okay, I'm trying to get that. Right here it is. Proverbs 1, and I'll start from verse 1. Proverbs 1 verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice and judgment and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and he will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. Alright, this is King Solomon giving us a breakdown right here, the understanding. This is what I'm talking about, okay? The parables, the proverbs, the deep dark sayings of the scriptures written in code. If the Bible is for everybody, then why is it written in code? Why did our Lord Yahweh use proverbs, use parables, now tell the disciples, to them, okay, those people, he's not giving the truth. The truth isn't given to them. Unto you it is given. Alright, let me get that. Because it's what I'm talking about right now, okay? Here it is. So this is the book of Luke 8, verse 9. And his disciples asked him, saying, what might this parable be? And he said, unto you it is given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of the Most High. But to others in parable, that seeing they might not see, and hearing they might not understand. Okay? So you are hearing it right there, that the Bible, the understanding is in code. So that even those that see it, they can't get it. Those that hear it, they still can't get it. Because this thing is in code right now. It's written in the common language, but it's still in code. And part of that code is that You use instead of using a city, instead of using a kingdom, you use similitudes. Instead of using doctrine, you use similitudes, you use similes, you use sayings, okay? You use proverbs. It's not a city, it's a woman. It's not doctrine, it's not philosophy, it's wine. It's not learning it, it's drinking it, absorbing it. You are what you eat, you are also what you drink, what you consume. So part of the doctrine, part of the philosophy, the understanding, that is the drink. When you are getting drunk, that is when you are taking it in, you are absorbing it. It's in your bloodstream now. Are we getting, are you getting it? Because where does alcohol go to make you drunk? It goes into your bloodstream, all right? So now you understand the doctrine, the philosophy that makes somebody drunk, because you can see that we that are in this truth, that are going out in the highways and byways, are drunk with this truth, all right? Okay. I was thinking of this preachers, they are drunk, whether with wine, they are staggering, whether with strong drink, that's not what this is going into. We are drunk with this truth because we are speaking the truth, eating the whole roll, digested it, and now it's in our bloodstream. The spirit is on us, and it's bringing out this word. That's Isaiah 61 right there. All right, so let me continue going on. Lot of things to go into. So let me get my next precept. Psalms 137. I know it's already been proven. The funny thing is that it's already been proven that America is Babylon the Great. Yeah, let me get this precept. Let me get this one first before I go into the next precept I want to go to. Let me get this one first. This is Revelation 11th chapter. Revelation 11th chapter. Let me bring this out. Hold on. Alright, Revelation 11, and I will start from verse 3. Revelation 11 verse 3. And I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,203 days, clothed with sackcloth. And these two witnesses are speaking about he's speaking about the northern and the southern kingdom. That is Ezekiel 37th chapter. The two candlesticks, the two witnesses, the two sticks that are, the two sticks. One stick for Judah and his companions, and the other for Ephraim and his companions. These are the two olive trees and the two candlesticks standing before the power of the earth. And if any man hurt them, fire proceeded out of their mouth and devoured their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. These have power to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. Right? Now jumping down to verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. Alright, so in the spirit, America is called Babylon the Great. It can also be called Sodom, it can also be called Egypt, because it has all the attributes of these different countries. Alright, the gods of Egypt are being worshipped in Babylon the Great. And I'm not talking about Kemet, even the elites worship those gods. When you go into the Ankh, which is the cross, which these Wakitaki Christians worship, they bow to it, they put it on their neck. Right, you go into the obelisk, okay, the phallus symbol, the phallax. I've forgotten how you pronounce it, but the phallus is basically the penis, the erect penis, okay, that's being worshipped, okay. Anytime you see any of these skyscrapers or these, I'm not really sure, so don't quote me on this, okay. This is just me speaking as a man. But I believe that all these skyscrapers are also part of this phallus symbol, part of these phallus symbols, okay? Not phallax, like a phallus. Alright, now I've already gone into that. You see it's erect, soccer. I see all these dirty jokes. But anyway, you see it erect, alright? Erect. But anyway, you see you see them making these obelisks, alright? These phalluses in Babylon the Great, and Egypt, of course, being the house of bondage, the land of captivity, right? Because going to the book of Deuteronomy 28 verse 68, and the Most High shall bring thee and the king which thou hast set over thee into a land which thou, let me go to that. Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. There you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Straight up. So now, we've connected America with Egypt. What about Sodom? America is not of Sodom because Sodom is practiced there. Sodomy, pederasty. And you know, if you don't know what pederasty is, that's man-boy love, alright? That's what these Edomites love to do. They're going to Jeffrey Epstein, the Lolita Express, Pedophile Island, okay? And all these celebrities, all these powerful individuals are always linked to it. You know, they're talking about how they traffic young children. And instead of them will do all these things, okay? They at least do this because I don't really want to go into detail about it. But basically, what they think is that, you know, it's basically the same as the vampire facials. All right, the what's it called, adrenochrome. They believe that if you have sex with these young children, that it also rejuvenate you and make you live longer. The same way they do in this adrenochrome. All right, taking plasma tissue from these young children so they can use it to elongate their lives. This is part of it's all part of their left-hand magic, all right, and their left-hand beliefs. Because this is what they were doing, practicing in Sodom and Gomorrah, homosexuality. In Egypt, this is what they were doing, okay? They were also doing, you know, they were also practicing, alright, they were practicing, it all goes back to Babylon, basically. It all goes back to Babylon. Let me just put it like that. Let me just put it like that, because I'm not certain about the practices of the Egyptians. I think I have to go and read up on that before I say anything that isn't true. Because what are we doing here? We are standing for the gospel of truth, alright? On our high horse, okay? You know, I don't want to get all proud and arrogant, but we are standing for the truth. And anybody can vouch for your great millstone, right? They have the 100% truth. Even I will say myself, other than the apostles of great millstone, they've got the 100% truth. It's come to a point where we say it, right? The men of great millstone say it, and it's not even us being arrogant or being proud. It's just facts. Now we can't say it enough, because at the end of the day, where is everybody coming to for answers? Where are people going to get understanding? That is what you should ask yourself, so you know who has it and who doesn't. But anyway, we are going back into it. Alright, so anyway, like I said, I linked that. Let me see if I can get, hold on, let me just make sure that I finished up with what I was going into. Yeah, okay, so that's basically it. Babylon the Great is Egypt. It's also spiritual Sodom because of the homosexuality, the transsexuality. It's being completely legalized to the point where you can marry. You know, you can even marry and be given to marriage. Okay, if you want to marry a man, you can marry. And there's even some states that bestiality is even legal. I think out of the 50 states in Babylon, 29 of them actually legalized bestiality, meaning that if you want to marry a cow, you want to marry a goat, a snail, a cockroach, you can. Then Babylon is through, you know. It's going into things like this. I think you realize just how through this kingdom is, man. This place is done, alright? It's not even funny anymore. You're just realizing it, that how ridiculous some of these laws are. And instead of them will fight tooth and nail and kill and vilify anybody that goes against this. This is done. So let me get this precept right here. Psalms 137 verse 1. Now use it to clean my face. Psalms 137 verse 1. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. We hung our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they that carried us away captive required of us a song. They that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, sing us one of the songs of Zion. So this is what is going on in our captivity. So we were captive in Babylon, alright? And they were requiring of us a song. In other words, when these Edomites come to you and say, oh, slavery was a long time ago, why are you still upset about that, you know? Why are you upset about, why are you asking for reparations? Why are you upset about all the crimes, all the evil, all the wickedness that we did to your people? Why are you still thinking about that? Oh, you're still thinking about that, you know? You're still thinking about slavery. You're still thinking about Jim Crow. You're still thinking about, you know, that time, the Tuskegee experiment, the Trail of Tears, the Tulsa, Oklahoma, and all the other places that we blew up. Oh, you're still thinking about the crack epidemic. Oh, you're still thinking about the prison industrial complex that we send your people to. We are still thinking about feminism, Section 8, the child labor laws that unfairly target your people. We are still thinking about the abortion laws that the Planned Parents that are basically killed more of our people than all of the wickedness that we've done unto you. No, but basically, out of everything that Esau has done, man, the Planned Parenthood, so that shows you our enemies are everywhere. Even the nigger woman is our enemy, man. Is our enemy because now she's killing Jake as well. You know, she's killing Jake in the womb. And I always think about this, man. When you do that wickedness, that abortion, you know, killing a living being in the womb. Do you know the amount of demons that puts on these people? Just a quick one into you Africans that are living in the West, you know. Even that are still dealing with these women out here. You should be aware of these women that have gotten abortions, man. Because some of these women have like 20. Ah, God, this place is done. Ah, Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Basham, Rachak Wadash, Babakasha, Abad Babal. Ah, this place is done. So the things that are being done in this kingdom is unspeakable. When you are in this truth and you think about just how wicked this place is, this is not right, man. This is not right, you know. This kingdom is true. Where Jake wants to argue about rape laws in the scriptures. Jake wants to argue about what's what then this place is true, and the people in this place are true as well. So this is the book of continuing on from verse 7 now. Remember, oh yeah, how are the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. And once again, going into, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So now we're looking for recompense, reimbursement, alright? And that is going to come in the form of slavery. Say what you want, Esau. Say what you want, devil. We are still going to put you in those chains anyway. You know? He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Esau and these other nations, they are going into slavery, alright? There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no, we're all sons of God now, you know? That's not in the, that's not in the Bible anymore. There's no have mercy, have forgiveness. The scripture says that we should forgive and forget. That only applies to Israelites, alright? People are going into captivity. And it shows you right here that the total of Babylon is actually the kingdom that Esau Edom set up. And this is showing right here that this Psalm 137 is dealing with a future prophecy, alright? Because not only is it speaking about Edom in the past, who said raise it, to when they were burning down our temple, when they were burning down our cities, when the Babylonians were burning down our cities, but they also did the exact same thing, raise it in their own kingdom, the Babylon the Great. I was talking about Tulsa, Oklahoma, and other places that are other Israelite communities that Esau burned to the ground. The Native American, the Garite community, the Garite villages that Esau burned to the ground, and they will say, raise it, even to the foundations thereof. So this is not even speaking about the temple. These Edomites have burned down so many of our communities, our villages. Right? Even here in West Africa, when they were taking people captives, they were burning down the cities as well, right? When they were trying to carry them, carry up the slaves, they were burning down the cities as well. Raise it, even to the foundation thereof. This is what the total of Babylon was doing. You know, whenever they saw our people in peril, our people in turmoil, they were celebrating. Amos 1 verse 9, Amos 1 verse 11. For 3 let me go back to that. That's a powerful precept right there. Because it shows you what the devils have done and what you are going to get for what you did, all right? Because when you're talking about all these things, when you're remembering these things, it's rousing up something in your spirit, man. Right now, and right now, right now I'm starting to get a little bit upset, I'm starting to get a little bit, because this is, the thing I can say is, let the Most High come quickly, let our vengeance come quickly. Amos 1 verse 11. Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. Isaiah 55 verse 11. Numbers 23 verse 12. The Most High will not change his mouth. He will not say something and not do it. He will not say speak and he will not do. He will fulfill all that he has spoken. Amos 1 verse 11 once again. Thus saith the Lord. I'm saying it plain for you. Alright, for those of you that Christians that are watching, so you know who is saying this. It's not me that is saying this. Thus saith the Lord. For 3 transgressions of Edom, Esau Edom, the so-called white man that is ruling over the earth today. Esau Edom that is in control of the great whore. Esau Edom, the red beast that is ruling on the earth. The Romans are the Edomites. Alright, I'm not going to go into any pieces to bring it out. I actually could. I'm not going to go into any pieces to bring it out. Because we've gone into this so many times, okay? That at this point, it's not even at this point, it's already a foregone conclusion. So continuing. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So you devils are still going to pay for what you did to our people. For 3 transgressions of Edom and for 4. The Most High will not have mercy, right? Because you are not because well, the Most High will not have mercy because you are not promised any mercy. Alright, you are a fornicator, a profane person. So we continue. That's basically what I want to get. Psalms 137 verse 7. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. Happy shall it be that rewardeth thee, as thou hast served us. Alright, so the Most High is talking about, we are talking about recompense right now. We are talking about payback right now. We are talking about, what Babylon the Great had done to our people. Alright? The destruction that it has caused all, and not just our people, all over the earth, okay? Okay, I was looking for this last precept. Alright, here it is. Isaiah 47 verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And the daughter of Babylon is Esau Edom, alright? The daughter of Babylon is already shown to be America because what is the greatest nation, the greatest city that these Edomites have ever produced? If you want to speak about the greatest city or the greatest country that the so-called white man has ever made, it is America, alright? And it's what the scriptures is speaking about. So America features greatly in Bible prophecy as Babylon the Great. And these Christians, right, a good number of your top scholars already know this. You ask the Apostle Taha, you go into it, right? The Apostle loves to go into that. Alright, the MOTB, Babylon the Great, basically all the prophecies, basically all the prophecies. But a lot of your scholars have already agreed to this, that America is Babylon the Great. Because all the prophecies are pointing to it. All the roads, all prophecies are pointing to this exact fact. So continuing. From verse 5. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. That was Isaiah 47 verse 5. In case you didn't hear me, I'll read it again. Isaiah 47 verse 5. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst shew them no mercy. Upon the ancients hast thou heavily laid thy yoke. And thou saidst, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst lay these things to thy heart. Now that this, remember the latter end of it. So when were the Edomites given into the hands? Saka. When were the Israelites given into the hands of the Edomites? During the Roman captivity, during the Greek captivity, and even now, because we are still in the Roman captivity. This is simply the revised Roman Empire, the continuation of the Roman Empire, the beast whose deadly wound was healed, right? That's going into Esau Edom's kingdom right now. So America is Babylon the Great. Esau Edom is the so-called white man, and the red dragon is NATO and the EU, the beast system that is ruling on the earth today, the system of government that is ruling on the earth today. That is the red dragon. The people that are in rulership today are the people that were prophesied to be in rulership at the end. 2nd Ezra 6 verse 9. Let's go into that. Let's get that. All right. You need scriptures. You need proof. There's ample proof. Okay. There's enough scriptures you can go into. We're talking about this. Let me get that. Hold on, Salakia. I'm thinking. I lost my train of thought for like 2 seconds there. 2nd Ezra 6 verse 9. 2nd Ezra 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Alright, so the end was to come by the hand of Esau. The end was to come when Esau was in rulership, and Jacob would take over in that kingdom. So with that, I think I'm going to end it right here, So with that, I like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yawashai, Ba'asham, Rachah, Kodash, Wa Abad Babal, and through the Spirit, I hope you Akam and Akwasa edified. Shalom, Babylon is going to get destroyed, and it will come, and it can't come soon enough, alright?